Super. Episode number 88.
Yes, in today's episode, guys, we will be discussing a quote. The quote is, when you wake up every day, you have two choices. You can either be positive or negative, an optimist or a pessimist. I choose to be an optimist. It's all a matter of perspective. This quote actually is by Harvey himself. Harvey Mackay, to be exact.
Yeah, not me. Not me.
Stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this, Harvey? What does this quote resonate with you?
Well, I actually think several things of this quote.
Oh wow! I'm glad.
Yes, yeah. No, yeah.
Go ahead,
So I mean, honestly and genuinely, here's the thing. Here's the thing with this quote that we don't really take into consideration, and it's the way we start our mornings. When you wake up, you might not always be in the best attitude. You might be struggling to get out of bed. You might even lay there for a few minutes. But don't let these things, or the night before, or the day before, whatever happened, don't carry that energy with you until the following day. You know why? Because the energy that you're choosing to put out there is like it's repetitive. You're gonna start each day. It builds up the rest of your life. Every single day builds up the rest of your life. There isn't going to be like, oh, 1 year I want to be this happy. Oh, maybe in 2 years I'll have all this, coming along, going together. We got to realize that we got to bring it down to the day, to the hour, to the second, the way that we choose to start our day, in positivity or negativity, pessimistic or optimistic. These are the things that, and we don't realize it, but like, you can change your attitude. You can change the way you are by simply the way you think. And this is our power, but it's also our downfall. So that's why we have to be careful with the way that we choose our thoughts, choose these emotions that happen to us on a daily basis. So that's how I feel about that quote.
No, that's so awesome. That's really in depth. Hopefully y'all took that in and put it into consideration. Because that is so true. Each and every day we have a choice. Whether to wake up fucking pissy or to wake up fucking grateful. And that's why I feel like waking up each morning and really expressing gratitude, it puts you into this gratitude frequency. It puts you into a mindset where I'm grateful for what I have, and it just sets you on for the day.
Yeah.
Because gratitude or joy and depression can't live in the same state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
So by simply expressing gratitude, you become in a joy mindset.
Yeah, and that's true. And going back to the whole, your days build up your life, and this is the way you're going to be. Here's something that I highly recommend you start off your mornings with, or really a way to look at it is your mornings set the tone. When you wake up, this sets the tone for the rest of your day. The emotions that you choose to start off with, basically, it's your frequency. It's your frequency for the rest of the day. So if you start off, you get out of bed, you get all you're in a pissy mood. You're upset, maybe it's raining outside, you're like, oh, today's an even worse day, and then maybe you're out of toothpaste, and you're just like, dang it, I gotta squeeze this tube out, come on, let me get that last strip of toothpaste in there, and then after that, you go and you have a shitty breakfast, and you're like, damn it, everything sucks. Like, you could go your whole morning and think about all these negative things that are going on in your life, or you could wake up and say, wow, I'm alive another day. Wow, I have this little bit of toothpaste left, Wow, at least I had something to eat, Like all these things is where your attention can go. Like you can always choose the worst one because it's the easier thing to do. It's easy to complain about this thing because it's hard to find the light in these situations to be like, you know what? Yeah, I might have had a not so good breakfast, but at least I had breakfast.
Yeah.
I might not have had as much toothpaste as I wanted, but at least I had toothpaste. I might have not woken up in the best mood, but at least I woke up.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. It's about where you put this attention towards that decides your days and ultimately your entire life.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a pessimist. You don't want to see the bad in everything.
So true.
Go around and live life as if it is your last day. What's the last things that you want people to remember you by? How do you want to be? Like, how would you speak differently to people? Carry that kind of attitude around. Memento mori.
Yeah, that's so important, dude. That's so good. Because it's literally, it's a switch. It's either you want to emphasize the bad or you can move this magnifying glass of your attention and put it on positive. Put it on, like you say, on what's more important, like the act of actually being able to do that thing. Like you had the privilege to even have that or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I feel like that simple switch would reap so much positivity in people's lives, and you'll realize that wow, everything good is actually happening instead of seeing the bad, attracting more bad, and then wondering why the fucking day's getting worse. And that's literally a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
You have those bad days, and people think that they just keep going, and they're like, why the fuck does it keep getting bad? Well, you keep thinking about it, putting attention to it, and that's really what it is.
No, exactly. And this also, I want to tie this into the law of attraction just a little bit because this is what it is. And if there's any new listeners out there, people who have not heard of this, it might sound a little crazy, it might even sound a little stupid to hear us saying, oh, just change negative thoughts. Like, what do you mean? When you look back at the quote, it literally says you can either be positive or negative. You choose to be an optimist. Like, it might sound obvious, like, okay, no shit, you choose to be an optimist. I can't, these things happen. But the thing is, when you look at the laws of the universe, where thought goes, energy flows. Like what you're thinking about the most, what you're speaking out the most, this stuff goes out into your life and it creates your life. Like this energy, you're constantly putting it out there. And that's why it's so important to realize, what am I constantly thinking of? Am I always talking about being broke? Well, no wonder I'm being broke.
Yeah.
Am I always talking about being sad and lonely? Well, no wonder I'm always sad and lonely.
Mm-hmm.
Start to find the light in these situations, and I promise you, your life will start to change. Your life will start to get better because you're actually looking for opportunity now. You're no longer looking at your current situation and only keeping that to yourself. You're now looking for opportunity in the light of these bad situations.
Yep.
And so that's why anyone can get sucked into that mentality of always thinking bad. But do some research on the law of attraction, or stay tuned for some more episodes, because your mind is so powerful, and it can ultimately be your biggest enemy too.
Yes.
So that's why you gotta train your mind to think differently. You gotta train your mind to think positive and see the light in these situations. No matter how hard it can get, there's always that little light.
Yeah.
What was that quote that you told me? Or no, it was a TikTok about that one Holocaust psychologist.
Yeah.
He was in the Holocaust, and like that's the worst of situations. Like that is one of the worst things that's happened in human history. And so like he applied his psychological practice even in that situation. He walked the walk in the worst of situations. Ooh. And still, because like you could be a psychologist, you can have all these things and say all this stuff, but when something like that insane happens to you, you can ditch all that and be like, oh no, this is unfair. How am I supposed to find meaning out of this? But somehow you still have to make meaning out of the suffering. You still have to make meaning out of this life.
That is so good.
So it's so insane. It's
and
insane.
that puts things into perspective, really, because not a lot of worse, like compared to like your life now, privileged being able to watch this or even listen to this, shows that like even compared to the Holocaust, because of how horrible that whole situation is and what he did to try getting through that situation.
Yeah.
And it's insane that even in those worst case scenarios, he is able to do that. And so that should put something into your perspective and realize, I am 1 million times in a better situation than this person.
Yeah.
So why should I emphasize the bad in everything? And like you said before, something that you reminded me of specifically, you wake up each day, it's a new day, and something that from our previous interview with Miss Meatless Muscle, which y'all should check out.
Check it out.
But she said this specific thing that really did resonate with me, and it's coming back to me right now because we're speaking on this, which is, like if yesterday maybe it wasn't the best day, you didn't do what you needed to do, maybe you slacked off a little, but you woke up today with a new mindset, you woke up today to a new day, to new opportunity to get things right, to start to organize things, to fix what you lacked in, to realize. And that is so awesome to see. It's not like, oh fuck, a new day, like maybe this day's gonna be worse, or maybe can it be like not like yesterday, but you wake up like, oh, it's a new day, I can start again. Like that's the thing, realizing it's a new day and being thankful for that new day and starting again, realizing I did mistakes, but not doing them again and working around and trying to fix it at least.
Yeah, exactly. That and the fact that you don't want to carry yesterday's problems on today. Like, it's a new day. And it's like, you don't want to stay in that frequency of worry and doubt and anxiety and fear or whatever it is. And you don't want to beat yourself up over it either, just because you messed up the day before. If anything, this is a new chance for you to fix your act, for you to, like you said, catch up on what you're lacking on. You figure out, it's good that you're noticing the flaws and what's wrong in your life, but at the same time, you don't want to only dive into that frequency and only stay in that frequency. Notice what you're lacking and notice the wrong things in your life, but don't live in them. You don't need to live in them just because you notice them. You can be aware of what it is, but then you need to take the steps necessary to solve these things. And so that's the difference, because we're not saying, oh, completely ignore everything bad that's happening.
No.
You know, you wake up in a day, oh my gosh, but I have bills to pay, I have to go to work, you know, all this sucks. Like it's always a matter of perspective. Like, okay, you have bills to pay. Okay, luckily and hopefully you have a job that's able to pay these bills, you know, go out there and work. You know, so it's like shift the intention. Like, yes, shit can get stressful, but you are in control here. Don't forget that you are always in control. And so no matter what situation has been tampering with you, like back to that example, like maybe you got bills to pay, maybe something's coming up and you need to come up with the money, or something's coming up and you need to have a talk with a friend, or I don't know, whatever it could be. Point is, you should try to train your brain to not stress or have this kind of anxiety, because you're only putting yourself through it twice if it does happen. And most of the time it doesn't happen. Most of the time you're only overthinking it, and you put yourself in that state of mind right now, and then when that time comes, it doesn't even happen. You're just like, that wasn't even that bad.
Yeah.
Why am I stressing about it? Or, oh man, I was scared to talk to that girl, but like it wasn't even that bad. Or, oh man, you know, it's so much. But just stay out of those low frequency emotions and get yourself into just awareness mode. Notice these things around you, but don't live in them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anything else we should add to that?
Oh, I think that was so good. Honestly, like the bringing awareness to the things that you do, and you might do it, but you realize, and then you try to work around it. You improve off of these things, or whatever it is, and that's how you become better. That's how you grow. You do it by mistake. You see it. You're like, okay, I did something, or things happen. You realize it, but don't, like you say, dictate it. Don't let it control you. Don't let these things mold you into being low frequency, controlled by everything, controlled by everyone. Pessimist, literally. It's really optimist. It's the best way. Literally, a delusional optimist. Like, what was his name?
That's how you should live your life. Be a delusional optimist. See the best.
Charlie Rocket. That's who it was.
Charlie Rocket did say that.
Charlie Rocket. Please look into it. His mindset, the way he speaks, will resonate with so many. I highly recommend it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have him on the podcast one day.
Oh yeah, he is. So just this for Charlie.
It is for Charlie. But yeah,
that's really what it is. Honestly, I feel like that really hit on it. So please implement this into your life. Think about this. Maybe write notes on this. Maybe like, okay, you know what? Yeah,
that makes sense. You know what? I need to start, writing down these things, which I do recommend. Write down these things. Like, it's okay to vent and let it out there, but again, don't let that control you. But I do highly recommend that you write these things down. Write the way that you're feeling down, and notice it. What's causing you to feel this way? What is it? Why do I feel these emotions? Oh, it's because that happened. Oh, it's because this has been happening. And then, okay, this has been happening. What are some possible solutions to this? How can I step away from that? Is there a friendship that I need to end? Is there a business opportunity that I need to take? Is there, and start asking yourself questions. You and a piece of paper and a pen, and just really reflect and take some time to really analyze yourself. Because these problems we can solve. We can solve these problems. And so yeah, I guess that's just a little tip that we sprinkled in there.
Yeah. No, that's so good. Wait, let me one more.
Get one more thing.
Because you remind me of our interview with King Soon.
Oh yes.
And his main thing is finding self-awareness within you. And I was recently listening to it again because what he spoke and said really resonates with me personally. I feel like it could resonate with many. And it's really becoming known with yourself, knowing like your kinks, knowing what you do and what you don't. Like, if you know you're going to do this in a situation, then don't put yourself into it. If you know whatever happens, don't put yourself into that. Like, really get to know yourself. Like, love yourself, really understand you as you, and find out what your goods are, and then this is how you can pursue in certain things. Yeah. And that's just a little tidbit. Please go check that episode out, though.
Yeah, that was a really good one. That was a really good one. But yeah, it's all about self-analysis, really. And that's the common theme that if we could probably tie a few common themes throughout all of our episodes, is self-awareness, self-questioning, because that is where change comes from.
Yeah, it is. Girl.
Yeah. All right, so that is about it, guys. Right?
Yeah, that's
All right.
it.
Yeah. So thanks so much for listening, and thank you guys for watching.
Yes, it means the world.